Hello? Can people hear me? If you can hear me, leave a comment. I think we've got audio, which is great. If anybody can just confirm that you can hear what I'm saying here, go ahead and leave a comment in the comment section. I'll just wait for a few people to come on here. Disco75, yes. MJX Moto blog, just. Okay, what if I bring the microphone down a smidge? And what if I try and turn you up? Is that a little bit better? This is all new, so we're experimenting with a few different things here today. Camera that I usually film my vlogs on, I'm using for the main camera here, and this microphone above me here. So if things are a bit quiet, let me know, or if things are blurry, fuzzy, let me know, and we'll try and fix this. So I know earlier in the week you guys probably saw the testing 1, 2, 3 video that went up and was still up for some reason until till earlier today, I think it was. It had like over 100 views before I took it down. I apologise about that in advance. It was literally just me trying to do a test like this, you know, being prepared for something like this, and I don't know, YouTube have changed their whole live stuff. They've got a whole new live streaming studio, so just trying to get used to it. But how is everybody? What day is it today? I don't even know anymore. Wednesday. Are you finding that? Are you finding that things aren't exactly, you know, it's quite hard to kind of keep track of where everything is going at the moment? But hey, at least we get to work on bikes, right? At least we get to work on our bikes. So the reason I wanted to do a live stream this evening, I told you last week in one of my videos that I wanted to be more consistent with my Wednesday uploads, and that is completely true. However, due to recent things that have gone on with the bike, I haven't had time to put a video together post-production wise. We'll just wait for a few more people to join, and I'll kind of give you a rundown of what's been going on. How's it go? Who's that? MJ. Oh, MJX. How's your leg doing, man? Are we on the mend yet? Are we good? Have you managed to throw a leg over yet, or have we had some issues still? Did you got a run in okay though, didn't you? I think MJX. I'm pretty sure that's the guy from Instagram who was having problems with his carburetors. You guys still hear me? Everything's still going okay? Let's get a message going if you can hear me. So yeah. So anyway, I'll tell you why why I'm doing this live stream tonight. So for those of you that follow me on Instagram, you will know that the bike is now completely ready, effectively, to be reassembled. The entire engine has been painted, and everything is pretty much ready to go. Hang on a minute, I've got Rob going on here. That's right. Everything's ready to go, and yesterday I spent 14 hours in the workshop yesterday, running as much as I could, running the camera and getting as much done as I possibly could. I just needed one of those days where no one was allowed to distract me. I wasn't going to distract myself. I needed to lock myself down in that room and just get on with a load of stuff, and I did. Where to start? The pistons went back into the cylinders, the new rings, as you know if you've been following. The new rings went on some time ago. We've put the new piston rings on the pistons, and then the pistons are now back in the cylinders. Cylinders went back onto the engine, and then we put the heads back on the cylinders, and then we timed the engine. That in itself was a huge achievement to accomplish all within one day by my standards. But then we moved on after we'd done the timing. Sounds like a silly thing, but doing the head bolts, the cylinder bolts from the head down, that was actually quite a big task, and I've discovered something that I'm going to share with you in a moment. Let me make a note of that, what I need to tell you about, in case you ever decide on stripping down your engine. How's it going, Rob? MJX. Hi, yes, this is Matt here. Cheers, buddy. A lot better. Managed to get out on the VS a couple of times. Oh, fantastic, mate. So it's running and you're keeping up with it. Awesome. If you've got any more problems with it, just give me a shout. But it sounds like you've got it where you need it to be, which is fantastic. Good evening, Rob, or Bob. How are we, sir? We good? Yeah, so I need to make a note, sorry, of the head bolts or cylinder bolts. There is something that I discovered, and I was a little bit confused at first. I probably would have cried if I'd have continued to do what I was doing. I think I would have destroyed my bike if I'd have carried on doing what I was doing, but I'll share that with you in a moment. Everything went back together, and then last night it got 3 coats of VHT, the paint that you saw me use, and then 2.5. Give me a light lacquer first, and then a medium layer of lacquer, and then a heavy layer of lacquer. And I got into bed last night around 2:30 a.m. and I'd started at 6 a.m. that morning, 6:30 that morning. So it was a good long haul day, but we got lots done to the point where the engine can now go back in the frame, which is the next step, which is what I was going to plan to do today, but I needed a day off. So MJX here, running like a dream. Fantastic, mate. Have you been anywhere nice, MJX? Or Matthew? Have you been anywhere local? I know you're in Scotland, aren't you? Some nice places up there. Can't wait to get my bike back up to the North Coast 500. It's going to be beautiful. So, lots done yesterday, but no time to post-produce any of the material. There's 3, possibly now 4 64GB memory cards that are just filled to the brim with footage, and I didn't want to leave you guys high and dry after promising that we would be doing weekly Wednesday uploads. So I thought, rather than not putting anything up, let's do a live stream, catch you up with what's been going on, and maybe have a chat and have a discussion. And if you've got questions regarding the VS1400, let's have a chat about them. Ask your questions if you've got anything VS1400 related, and I will do my best to answer them. I have got this bad boy here ready and waiting, so if there's any specifications for anything that you might require that's in this book, then I can at least give you what's in the book. But due to recent events, I would be concerned or a little bit more wary about taking the word of what is in this book. Found something out. I'll put it up on Instagram. I know it's up on the VS1400 Facebook page. I put it up earlier. But there was an issue with the head bolts. The VS1400 manual states that the longest out of all of the bolts has to go into a specific position, and it's the only bolt that is 215mm and has to go in a particular position on the head and be torqued down to 35 Nm. The problem was that when I was putting it in, there was about an inch left after it had reached maximum. It would not go down any further, and I was putting so much weight behind it that the bolt was actually starting to twist. You could feel it. It wasn't turning inwards, it wasn't going into the thread anymore. The bolt itself was just starting to twist. So I had to take a step back, catch my breath. I mean, I'd put this engine up against a piece of wood that I'd bolted to the desk to stop it from spinning because of the amount of torque that I was putting down on it. So, and I was seeing red, I was getting upset, getting angry. So I was like, nope, I am not getting into this. I need to take a minute. I came upstairs and I started checking online how much it would be to buy those bolts brand new in case I did inevitably snap one. And they're only about £12 to £14 each, it's a lot for a bolt, but for an OEM bolt, it's really not that bad. So I was looking, and it's the front cylinder that was at question here, and it's the front cylinder that's spoken about in this book. And it said on the websites, you know, the websites, we've got the schematic, and then you've got a list of parts down one side, and they've all got their part number, and you can go through and check them against the schematic, etc., etc. And I was looking at the front cylinder, and there was no mention of a 215mm bolt. So I checked another website and then another website, and none of them listed this 215mm bolt on the front cylinder. So I thought, well, just for argument's sake, let's look at the rear cylinder. So I looked at those websites with the rear cylinder, and there it was. The 215mm bolt is actually for the rear cylinder, not the front cylinder, which made perfect sense because that 215mm bolt wasn't going down any further in the location on the front cylinder that this workshop manual tells you to put it. So I know I always say bear that in mind, but it's true. Never force something. I was so glad that I found out, and literally it was the two bolts. One from the rear cylinder was a 200mm, and the front one was a 215mm, and they just needed swapping over. And everything now torqued down to spec, everything fine. So, but they did get it wrong. So sometimes things happen, misprints happen, and I'm going to do a bit more research on how misprinted this workshop manual actually is. I can't see it being overly misprinted, but for things like that, things that would cost a fortune to fix, if that thread had snapped inside, if that bolt had snapped inside that thread in the bottom end, I would have been so upset. Let's take a look at some of these comments that are starting to come in. Rob asks, clutch bolt torque spec. Well, Rob, it all depends on the springs a lot of the time. I would speak to Ryan. Ryan, thank you. You've already done it. Pleasure, sir. Thank you very much. MJX Motoblog, essential journeys only in Scotland still. No long ride outs yet. Couple of trips to the shop and the hospital, physio appointments, etc. Unfortunately, that's it so far. But at least you're getting out on it. At least you're able to throw that leg over and go for a little ride. I've not ridden my bike since November 2019. It's painful. It really is painful. How's it going, Ryan? Glad you could make it, sir. If anybody, like I said, if anyone has got questions, please feel free to list them below. Disco, I use a US-made Climber VS1400 workshop manual along with the factory Suzuki you have, as they show different photos and descriptions to the factory manual and vice versa. Something I know that Climber did one. I never thought about maybe playing them off each other, so it's not a bad shout. I might have to look into that. It really was quite a big boo-boo on Suzuki's part, because if I'd have gone at that thing with any more force, I was putting my entire weight and body behind that, and it was not budging. And if I'd have just forced it another half a centimetre, I'm pretty sure that bolt would have gone snap. So really glad that we didn't do that. Robert Adams, is that the same Robert? Wait, we got two Robert Adams, is there? How's it going, Rob and Rob? Or is it the same Rob? Rob, is that you with the different thumbnail there? Doesn't matter. Welcome. So yeah, so lots has been happening with the bike, and that's why I've not uploaded tonight, is because I just have not had the time to post produce, because I've been working on the bike. But I was thinking about putting together a few big videos regarding certain parts of the rebuild. Now I know that everyone is waiting for the carburetor sync video. There are loads of you asking for that video, and it is going to happen. I obviously just can't do it until I'm at the point where I'm putting the carbs back in the bike. So hang fire. I'm hoping it's going to be sooner rather than later. But for now, I just need to get everything else done. Now that the engine is back together, torqued down, we can put it in the we can put it in the frame, and we can start reassembling. we can start putting that new triple tree on. Oh, it's Bubba. How's it going, bub? You good? Bubba's probably one of my youngest fans, I think. What's that? MJX Motoblog. November. That's a long time. When do you think you'll get your bike ready? Well, the plan yesterday was to get it to a point where if I were able to dedicate any amount of time, that it would be done quickly. Now, if I didn't work, and if I'd been furloughed, if I didn't run a little independent business, and I could dedicate the next 3 days to the bike, it would be done within 3 days. But that's not including the videos. The video work, it takes so much time and patience, because every angle you need to try and make sure that everything's in focus. We need to try and make sure that what you're seeing through the lens, I can still work on. So there's certain angles that you guys might not actually benefit from seeing, but it's the only angle I can give you, because if I can't be square to whatever it is that I'm working on, it's really difficult for me to kind of stand to one side. And we're getting there. It's getting a lot easier. The routine of filming is becoming more natural, but then the post-production after, we're talking 3 to 4 hours just to put the videos together. That's not including importing the data into the computer, that's not including exporting the data out of Premiere Pro, and it's not including uploading to YouTube. All of my videos are 4K, so they're huge file formats. It does take time. If I were to not video the process and dedicate however long it would need, 3 days is how long it would take me. Everything else, including the filming, the post-production, everything, probably 2 weeks, realistically. But that doesn't mean that you guys are going to get to see it in 2 weeks. Maybe, I don't know, we'll see. Because the bike could be finished within the next couple of days, but then do I want to just tell you that it's done? Would you want to see that, or do you want to continue to see the rest of the videos and work up to it? I think why fix what's not broken? I think we're on a pretty good system right now. But yeah, 3 days if I were to dedicate everything to it, 2 weeks with everything else that I'm doing as well. Let's see if there's anything else that's coming. Jamie or Azazel, how's it going, man? He asks, do I need to hone if I am not going to change the piston rings? Is it the same cylinder that you took off, or are you putting a different cylinder on? Yeah, Ryan's kind of answered that one there for me. Do not need to hone if the cylinder walls are in good shape. But also, to add to that, if it's a different cylinder, I most certainly would hone those walls, because they've been shaped to a different set of rings. You want to try and give them as new a surface as possible to bed down in. Ryan, you want to see all the videos and work up? I agree. I think that's the best way to do it. Sometimes you've just kind of got to, you get excited, or I do, and kind of just want to go, put it out there, show everyone what I've done. I'm so proud of myself, but no, I think you're right. We'll keep it going. And Ryan very kindly and I have had some discussions, and there's some exciting videos coming out regarding some Winters Machinery products over the next coming weeks. I'd love to get to them sooner, but as Ryan says, it's kind of, let's do this in steps and build from the ground up. But it's exciting stuff. I'm really excited to share what Ryan and I have been working on together, and yeah, it'll be highly beneficial for you to see the videos that are going to be coming out regarding Winters Machining. Let's see. Same cylinders. Yeah, okay, Jamie. Well, if they're the same cylinders, as long as they're not scored, scratched, dinked, dented, should be fine to put them straight back in there. Hello, Rodrigo. Springfield. Where's that? VA? Where's VA? Is that the same Springfield as The Simpsons? That's pretty cool, if it is. I actually haven't watched The Simpsons in years. Anyway, I digress. Ryan Winters, perfect info. Thank you, sir. Jamie, we want the build-up. Okay, I think that's unanimous. I think we'll stick to doing the videos bit by bit. It's really, like I say, it's really hard to not put stuff up when you want to, and it's really hard to sort of strategize when videos need to go up. Once you start getting into uploading regularly on YouTube or any platform, Facebook or Instagram, you have to kind of hold yourself back a little bit. So there's loads in the pipeline, I promise you. There's so much footage from yesterday alone that we could probably get 4 videos, individual videos, out of that memory card from 6 till 9 o'clock last night. And I started at 6 in the morning, so that there's loads of footage. But if there is anything in particular that you guys maybe think that I haven't covered well enough, or would like to see me go over again, or something that you definitely need me to do, leave a comment here and I'll add it to the. I do have a list of requests from people, and I am getting to them. It's just everything's in the air at the moment, and I'm trying to get so much done with the bike, personal, business. It's juggling act. But I do have a list. Virginia. Okay. No, I've never been to Virginia. We have Springfield near us in PA. I'm assuming that's Philadelphia. Is PA Philadelphia, or am I about to get slaughtered in the comment section? Where are we? Can't wait to see the rest of the build from Rodrigo. Thank you, sir. You've been a great supporter. You've commented quite a lot, and I really appreciate that, Rodrigo. All of you. I cannot believe how quickly this channel has grown. The oldest video on my channel is actually a year old on the 16th, and that was when I revealed the Intruder. But it's weird when you look back at old YouTube videos. I never had a following when I uploaded that video. I think I had 1 subscriber, which was probably my brother-in-law, my youngest brother-in-law. And I was trying to talk to people as if they were listening, you know, trying to do the moto vlog as if people were listening. No one was watching. I can show you the analytics. That's not a bad idea, actually, for another video. I could show you how the YouTube channel has grown. If you're interested in that, let me know. But nobody there, and then I think the next day or the 2 days after that, I uploaded the infamous "How to Nearly Die on a Suzuki VS1400 Intruder," which somehow is heading towards 10,000 views. But it was just in between the "How to Nearly Die on a Suzuki VS1400 Intruder" and the first teardown video, which was, I think it was December 2nd or something like that. Someone go check it out on my channel, can see if you can find the date of when that video went live. The first part 1 teardown of the Suzuki VS1400. Between those 2 videos, I didn't post anything, nothing at all, and it was only because in August-September time of 2019 that I came across my own video, the "How to Nearly Die on a Suzuki Intruder" video, and it had like 2,500 views, and I went, huh, what? How is this possible? I'd forgotten about it. In fact, I've got about 4 different YouTube channels that I wanted to do different things with. I've always kind of wanted to have a YouTube channel. And historically, building a YouTube channel, it takes years. It takes so much time. And I've got good friends who are incredible filmmakers, and they've had channels for a long time, and they continually struggle to attract an audience. And to upload that rebuild video in December, I think it was, to now, May the 13th, to have nearly 700 subscribers in just that short amount of time is insane. And thank you for it, because I keep saying, I know I keep going over this in my videos, but it is bizarre. Any of you that have ever uploaded videos and a month later looked back at them and they've got 3 views, it's so disheartening. And when things finally start to happen and people start to actually take notice and engage, and that's the most important thing for me, is engagement with you guys. It's so humbling. It's so humbling. But enough talking about my YouTube channel. Let me come down the comments here. Gianna Adams says, what motorcycles do you want to work on after this build? It's a funny question, because okay, I'm not going to tell you what it is, but there might just be another bike downstairs already. And if you look in the newer videos closely, you might just catch a glimpse here and there. Just. Apart from that, other bikes that I would like to work on, I would love a Suzuki Savage, 650 Suzuki Savage. Always wanted one of those. Beautiful little single cylinder thumper. I'd love to have one of those. Tear it down and rebuild it. So small, so easy to work on. Single carb, single cylinder. Great bike to just have to run around town with. Absolutely would love to have a Savage. MJX Motoblog, 2 weeks is still brilliant. Really not long now then. Well, hopefully not. Hopefully not. And if things keep getting knocked back in terms of video releases, I think what I'll do is I'll just do a few more live videos for you guys, so that you know that the project is still going and that I'm still here and that, you know, everything's fine. It's just, if I'm going to get this bike done, I need to put down the camera and pick up the wrenches. So if that happens, we'll just do a few more live videos. Rodrigo, you got it. You got it. MJX, focus on finishing your project first, then it would be good to see some more bike vlogs. Yes, definitely. The Moto vlogging is something that I want to get back to. I can't wait to get back to Moto vlogging, because Moto vlogging means I'm riding my bike. And that's all that matters to me right now, is getting back on my bike. It's been 6 months and I'm starting to go mad. And when the Prime Minister announced but didn't announce that we could but couldn't go out as of today, I got excited, and then I didn't, and then we're kind of in this whirlwind at the moment that no one knows what's going on. We were told that motorcyclists as of today, Wednesday the 13th, could go out and ride for mental health and psychological reasons. Absolutely, and I completely understand that, because it's driving me insane not being able to ride my bike. So that gave me a little bit of a kick, and that's why yesterday I spent all day just working on the bike. Frank, your videos are motivating me to put my 98 VS1400 back together. Tore it all down, then life happened. Happens to the best of us, buddy. But really, thank you. I'm glad that it's motivating you, and if there's anything you need, questions answering, always leave a comment on one of the videos. Might take me a day or two to get back to you, but I always try and respond to every single comment. The only comments that I don't really respond to are ones that are clearly fake and from fraudulent accounts. I get them on every video as soon as I upload. Within 3 minutes, I get a couple of comments from accounts that are clearly fake accounts. You know, let's be best friends and all that. They're the only kind of comments I don't respond to. And if you've asked for something in a previous comment and I've responded to that comment, and then you ask me for a request again a couple of days later, I've already answered the question, so hopefully you'll just understand that I'm just not round to it yet, just haven't got round to it. But yeah, best of luck with it, Frank. Keep us in the loop, man. Absolutely, Rob, do it. Frank, I bought another 05 S8 III, makes it even harder since I'm still riding. Oh yeah. Good evening, Philip. Slider, how we doing? Ooh, Slider's come into a chat room full of Suzuki VS1400 riders. Do you want to tell the world what you ride, Slider? Go on, tell us all what you ride. Each to their own, right? Each to their own. I'm only jealous, and I am jealous because the bike that Slider rides is pretty sweet. I'm not gonna lie. I'll own one soon, one day. But yeah. So the other thing I wanted to talk about before we kind of open the floor up completely for Suzuki VS1400 questions is the triple tree. The triple tree video. Slider says I can tell you all what he rides. Phil rides a Harley 48. What year is it, Phil? I think it's a 2012, 2013. Could be newer than that. 2014. Beautiful bike. Beautiful bike. But yes. The triple tree video. The triple tree video, the unboxing video, is my highest performing video. Now, are you guys telling me that you want me to do more unboxings, or were you just excited to see what was coming from that triple tree video as a whole? Because the amount of comments, the amount of messages, the amount of views that video has received. Let me pull up the stats here. I think that video's had nearly 700 or 800 views since this time last week. I think it is my highest performing video in terms of speed and growth. So sliding his he's not. I'm not actually sure where the name came from. Slider, tell us where the nickname. I know where it came from, but it's I'm not sure why it came from that. Wasn't it something to do with you sliding away? Oh yeah, sorry. So Slider, Phil. It's really weird calling you Phil. Slider's got a 2015 Harley 48 and the 600 Bandit, which I believe in the States is known as... Rob, what's it known as in the States? The Bandit. I know some states call it the Bandit as well, but it's not widely known as the Bandit. I know that numbers are very important in the States when it comes to talking about bikes. We've got the VS1400, and Slider's Bandit, I believe, is called something else in the States. I'm sure Rob will come through in just a moment. There is a bit of a delay here, guys, so if you're putting stuff in the comment section and I'm not seeing it straight away, it's because there's about a 60-second delay. Let me come back here. Let's find that triple tree video. The triple tree video received, so far it has received 702 views in 7 days, and it's my highest performing video. Quite a few of you have reached out to me directly and said that you've just gone and purchased your very own triple tree kit from Petrol Moto. I need to clarify something, because a lot of you are also under the influence. I've had a few Instagram messages of people congratulating me on my sponsorship with Petrol Moto. I am not sponsored by Petrol Moto. Okay, I did buy that triple tree with my own money. I spoke with Petrol Moto after the video went live, and we had emails back and forth. They thanked me for doing the video. They shared it on their Facebook page, and did they do it on their Instagram? I can't remember. They definitely did it on their Facebook page. They gave me some really lovely positive words about the channel and how they really enjoy the content and that they'll be keeping an eye on the channel. I reached out and asked if they would be interested in some form of endorsement, sponsorship, and collectively together at this time, it's not quite time for that sort of thing. The channel's too small. The channel needs to be a lot bigger before those sorts of deals start getting made. But they were very, very kind, very genuine, and they're very helpful customer service wise. I sent them an email today asking them a couple of little things about the triple tree and risers to go on to the triple tree and how the best ones to fit, etc. and it's kind of like within half an hour, full breakdown email response. But yeah, I just needed to clarify that they're not sponsoring me. Okay. If I put anything out where someone has effectively sponsored me, I will state that I've been sponsored, but they didn't sponsor me. But the product is incredible. I can't wait to get it mounted on the neck. I got a new lower race bearing for it, a new lower stem bearing. That will be fitted ASAP. I'm not going to need to do another video on that. You've already seen how to do it. But that's ready to go. Hell of a rake, 7 degrees. I did slide it into the neck, and you can already tell where the forks are going to go. It's going to be really quite different. Looking forward to it. So yeah, anyway, a few of you reached out, and a few of you have purchased the Triple Tree. Congratulations, you won't be disappointed. You won't be disappointed. The only thing that you're going to need to take note of is if you are planning on using some form of adapter for a front brake caliper, we might need to have a look and see whether or not that front brake caliper adapter is compatible, because the forks are going to be set wider in the new Triple Tree. They're 265mm wide as opposed to the stock, which I think is 200mm wide. I'd have to check that though. So yeah, but I'll keep you in the loop about that adapter, and I will let you know best way to approach it. Probably all dying for the content, to be honest. By the way, hello everyone. There we go. Phil, 2015. Oh, we've done that. ST Williams, what's up, folks? What's up, ST Williams? Rob, I think you're right. GSF 600. That's it. The Bandit is a GSF 600 or GSX. Is one of them. Yeah, GSX. Rob reckons it's the GSX and the GSF 600 slider. I'll have to double check. Rodrigo, does the angle of the Triple Tree make it into kind of like a chopper style? Yeah. So the rake, as we call it, is the amount of, if this is your forks and your wheel is in the middle, right now your fork is about there as stock. By adding 7 degrees to that, it brings it out further, so your front wheel comes out further. With that comes a few things you need to take note of. If you plan on doing it, you need to know that it's going to change the way that your bike rides quite dramatically, especially around corners. You will have to go slower, most likely, and you will most likely need to go wider around corners. But it does lower the front of the bike down. It lowers down the frame, so chances are you will need to drop the rear of the bike as well, so smaller shock absorbers, 11.5 inch, 12 inch, that sort of thing. That's what I plan on putting on mine anyway. Progressive shocks, probably the 412 heavy duties. But yes, it will give you that sort of chopper-esque look. However, it's not, you can't really call it a chopper, because a chopper is as it sounds. It's by chopping the bike up. I believe the term chopper was, it came about because in order to rake motorcycles originally, they would have to chop the neck off and re-weld it at a higher level of degrees, so that you had that rake effect. So you had the big long forks in the front. You might have to get fork extender tubes as well, so bear that in mind if you plan on buying one. Stefan says, I cannot fathom how anyone would believe you were sponsored. You are the king of disclaimers, mate. I know, right? I try my hardest to be like, look, I paid for this, because if you don't and YouTube get on your back, you just end up with a lot of trouble. So I'd much rather know that I'm complete clarity. No, I'm not sponsored. I bought it with my own money. However, if you do want to sponsor a video, please feel free to get in touch. I'm sure those days will come. And like I said, that we mentioned someone earlier who we're talking already about a certain agreement, a certain arrangement. But thank you, Stefan. At least I know not all of you are, missing that part where I say that I'm not sponsored. Frank have you looked for any aftermarket seats, and if so, any luck? Any luck? Yes, there are quite a few suppliers out there. Sorry, I'm getting a bit parched. I haven't stopped talking for 40 minutes. There are a few places out there. Depends what kind of thing you're after. If you want something for long journeys, something that's going to last a long time, and something that you can do 4 to 5 hours on straight and not does that make you want to go? Sorry, I've got to get some water in here. If you're looking for a big seat that's going to be comfy for hours on end, I and probably everyone else in that chat there is going to recommend Corbin. Corbin are incredibly expensive, but incredibly worth the money. You can design your own seat. They have full gel pads. They'll put any sort of trim. You choose the color of your thread. Corbin, Corbin, is one place to look. Another place to look would be Thunderbike. They're a German-based company, but they do a lot of custom parts for the VS1400, but also a load of other bikes, the Harley Davidsons. They do a load of custom bikes. They're a brilliant company, not cheap, but high quality. They do a couple of seats that go well with their rear fender kits, and that's something I plan on doing in the future, is getting a new seat along with a new rear fender kit. I'm going to go for I think it's the Evo, the standard Evo, not the big Evo, because that's for 210mm to 260mm tires, I think. And the other place you could look for the seats is Intruder Team, another German company. I think it's intruder-team.de, I believe. And if you do buy anything from any of these places, just leave them a note saying that I was the one who told you. So hopefully, you never know, they might contact, you never know, maybe we can do a giveaway of some sort in the future with one of these aftermarket parts. That would be pretty cool. What else have we got in the comments here? So yeah, sorry Frank, yeah, I hope there's 3 options there. There is a few more. I'll make you a list. Excuse me. Frank Seats Suppliers. Okay, let's see what else we got here. Sorry, my throat's got awfully dry all of a sudden. Let's see. MJX asks, I might have missed that in one of your videos, but are you keeping the stock bars? Handlebars, are you referring to? If you're referring to the handlebars, no. The stock handlebars will be gone. Mainly because, even though I'm short, I don't like the buckhorn look. They feel great, they're really comfortable, but I don't like the way they look. Not the best riding position in my opinion. Comfy, but yeah, probably go for some sort of slight pullback drag bar of some sort, a bit straighter, a bit more sort of shoulder height, as opposed to down here, which is just doesn't feel right for me. Rodrigo, Corbin seat, yeah, absolutely. 99 Victory V92 seat, ooh, lovely. Absolutely. So Frank, definitely worth looking into Corbin. If you're happy to spend a pretty penny, Corbin, absolutely. Their customer service, I've never dealt with them myself, but I've only ever heard good things about their quality of product and their customer service and aftercare team. So maybe start off by asking them some questions if you've got questions. You know, gel pads and stuff, and it's all handmade, hand stitched, high quality leather. It's good stuff. MJX, yeah. So no, I'm not going to be keeping the stock bars. Do you need them? Would you like them? You're more than welcome to make an offer for the kitty. If you need some buckhorn bars, you're more than welcome to do that. Rodrigo, do drag bar. That's on my VS1400. Yeah, I'm considering it. I've got to get new risers first though for the triple tree, because the new triple tree doesn't take the existing riser kit. The existing one are hollow. They've been drilled, so you can put all of the wiring straight through the riser, and then that goes down into the headlight. That's the only thing I'm not keen on with the triple tree, but it's not the end of the world. But the old system with the hollow risers, to keep everything nice and clean and tidy and everything out of the way, I do like that. We'll see what we can do though. We've got new pipe work and new tubing and new wiring and everything coming along soon, so we'll see how things play out in regards to, you know, cable management, so to speak. Stefan asks, have you worked on your wire harness at all? Mine is a bit of a mess too, so I'm looking forward to a complete update on that. The short answer is no, not really. I know exactly what I need to do to the existing wiring harness to get it to be up to scratch again, and what I'm going to do, electrical wise, is I'm going to reassemble the bike in its entirety with the existing wiring harness temporarily, and the reason I'm going to do that is to make sure that the engine is able to turn over, everything fires, it runs well for a couple of weeks on that wiring harness, because that way I know that mechanically the engine is sound. The worst thing I want to do is spend the next week building a brand new wiring harness from scratch, which is what I will be doing, to put it into the bike to not have anything work, because then I'd be chasing two different possible problems. It's either the bike's got a problem, the engine itself, or my new wiring harness has got a problem, and I'd rather go into the new wiring harness knowing that the bike runs, everything is tuned and working fine, and then we can do the whole electrical thing. But if you want me to do a little video on what I will be doing to my existing harness, it's really just kind of, you know, tidying up bits of solder, you know, replacing old frayed wires, etc. I can do a little video for you if you want me to do that. I'll make a note of that. Little wiring video. But there will be a full saga of the electronic rebuild, so to speak, but it won't be for a good few months yet. Let's see, Disco, try the S83 stock handlebars if you like the flatter drag bar type. Thank you very much, Disco. I will make a note of that. That is off the S83 stock. Look into that. S83 stock handlebars. I'm also debating how high these risers should go, really. I'm either going to go 1 inch or 3, which is kind of bog standard, really, but yeah, not quite sure. A friend of mine has got a few different sets of old handlebars that he said that I can try out, which is what I'll do. I'll stick a couple different types of bars on there and see what's what, and then before I go buying, you know, new expensive ones. MJX, just curious, to be honest. I don't like them either. No, I don't. Not many of us do. I think the straight bar looks really good. All the low profile ones I have on my VS really don't like ape hangers. So, I think ape hangers work providing they suit the bike, and I personally don't think this bike overly suits ape hangers unless you've done some pretty incredible modifications to the rest of the bike and the way it looks. I think ape hangers look great on an old school Sportster, an old Dyna of some sort, you know, a really skinny retro chopper hardtail. I think they work because that's how they were built, that's how they were envisioned from the ground up. So I do think they work well on certain bikes. I personally don't think that they look the best on VS1400s, but each to their own. You know, if it's comfortable. You know, I've seen guys on the forum that are like 6'6", and they've got these ridiculously tall ape hangers. I'd never be able to reach them, but it suits them. You know, and it all depends on the ride. You know, if you enjoy them, go for it. ST Williams, water bottle sounds like a bald eagle or something. Well, when I actually take a drink, I know it's this breather hole on the top. Let's do it now. Microphone just here, see if you can. Yeah. Apparently there was eagles coming back to the UK for the first time in I don't know how many hundreds of years earlier this week. I think Rob, you sent me that link, didn't you? Something about the white-tailed or something eagle. As you can tell, I really took note of the article. They were spotted in Yorkshire, Scotland, up there somewhere, for the first time in 100 odd years or something, which is crazy. What have we got here? Stefan says, "Are you doing something with the Moto Gadget M Unit Blue for your wiring rebuild?" Okay, so I have had many a debate with a few different people on whether I'm going to be going down the blue unit M unit route, or there's another company that I cannot remember. Let me pull up my Instagram feed, because I was talking to a gentleman who is in Germany, and he gave me some great advice in regards to the electrics and the system that he's just put into his Intruder, and how it was like 8 to 10 wires and that was it, done. So I'm really intrigued about that. I'll see if I can find his, there he is. And let's see with what he called it. It was, I'm not recommending this product at this point because I've not used it myself, but I can tell you what it is that he sent over. It was called a D-box. We'll just pull up the link here. And I'm going to do something really fancy. Hang on, let me... if I open this window, I should be able to get the camera to look at my screen. Alright, don't go anywhere. I'm just trying to do you a favour. Hang on a sec. If I were to do this, and then this, you guys should now be able to see my screen, right? I hope. So we've got a D-box here. A few people have told me about these, but the guy I spoke to on Instagram, this is what he's put into his bike, along with a couple other different things. You do need a new rectifier, regulator, and let's pull this down so you can. Oh, hang on. Sorry, I've just realised that you are miles away. Hang on a second. Let me try and move this over a little bit so you can see. Here we go. So yeah, this is called the D-box, and here is the schematics for it. So it's very similar to the M unit, the blue M unit, but it is it's a bit cheaper. It's not got the same sort of level of marketing and branding as the M unit, but it's supposed to do pretty much the same thing. So they offer a few different models. I will make a full list of what the gentleman told me. He even offered to do me a wiring diagram that I can share with you guys. So if we get to that point, I will of course share that with you. But yeah, there are other options out there. Definitely looking into doing something with the wiring a little bit more intelligently than what was put in it in 1996-97. So yeah, but take note of that, ladies and gents. If you're interested in sorting out your wiring, this could be a route to go down. Let me try and switch back now to my... Ooh, where is it? There it is. Fancy stuff, right? Oh no, I'm over there. I need to pull you in. There we go. Like I said, still getting used to all this weird new software and technology. We're at 54 minutes. We've been live for 54 minutes. If you guys have got any questions regarding the bike specifically, let me know right now, because I'm going to knock this on the head at an hour, and I'm going to go and grab myself some sleep. It's now nearly 11:30, and hopefully tomorrow we'll be able to continue work on the bike. So let's see what the last few bits you guys have put into the comment section. Are you going to do something? Yeah. So yeah, Rodrigo, Z-bars could look good. Yeah, Z-bars don't look bad. In fact, Rob has got Z-bars, I think. Haven't you, Rob? Oh, yeah. Sorry, you've already commented. Yeah, Rob's got Z-bars, 8-inch rise bars. Perfect for his height at 6'1". MJX Moto Screaming Budgie. Yeah. Rob, Whitetail Eagle. That's what it was. Whitetail Eagle. First time in 240 years has come back to the UK. Riveting stuff. So yeah. Anybody got questions? Last couple of minutes here, guys. Thank you for taking the time to join me tonight. I'm so glad that this finally worked after the few hiccups that we had earlier in the week trying to get things sorted, working with all this new software and technology and the camera and the microphone and stuff. It's it's actually turned out pretty good, and I think maybe we'll do this every Wednesday. What do you think? Should we do this every Wednesday? Maybe have a theme every week, talk about a different topic. Maybe you guys could vote on it if I put it on Instagram. Be sure to head over to Instagram if you're on there and give us a follow. It's Intruder Viking on Instagram. Hagar was already taken, so I couldn't use that. Rodrigo, did you encounter any what did the previous owner do? Yes, a lot. You'll notice the crap moments in the first sort of 4 to 5 videos. One of them being the wiring harness. The wiring harness, because they put a third-party aftermarket fender on the rear, which I recently found to be a Fat Boy or a Fat Bob fender off of a Harley. They moved all of the electronics from, usually they would be under the pillion seat attached to the top of the fender. They had to move them because they put a new fender on. So they'd stuffed everything inside of the left-hand side case, and in doing so they'd had to cut wires and move things, delete things from the system. Like, for example, I have got no plug on my wiring harness for the boost sensor, but the boost sensor is still there. What's that all about? And I've got the pipe from the front cylinder running back to the boost sensor, but the boost sensor, there's no point in it being there. The only thing it's doing right now is acting as a plug for that pipe off of the front cylinder. I don't get it. Why would you delete the boost sensor? The only thing I can think of is that maybe that boost sensor on the bike is dead and doesn't work. So there is that. Maybe that's why they did it. But that's one of them. Wiring, again, there are wires on this wiring harness that have been twisted together and then insulation tape put around them, and that's it. Like, no solder, no connection point, nothing, just twisted together and a bit of electrical tape, job done. You know, it baffles me what people do. You know, we all continue to learn, we all continue to get better, but there's a line, right? And these guys were so far past the line that they just couldn't see it. It was, you just don't do things like that. You know, you're playing with your life. And what if it broke down 500 miles away from your house due to a bloody wire coming apart from another wire? I don't know, people. But yeah, there's lots of them, man. Lots of them. Ryan Winters. Ryan's got 18-inch apes, too big for me at 5'10". Yeah, I can imagine that. 18-inch, that's... Have I got a tape measure here? Oh, I did do. It's gone. 18-inch, what? We're talking maybe that. That's quite high. As soon as you start going above your heart, you're going to get numb hands really quickly. That's why I quite like shoulder length and out to the side ever so slightly. I think that would be quite a comfortable riding position for me. I mean, I'm only 5'8" on a good day, so that's probably where I'll go. But we'll see. And Ryan says, yeah, each week. Okay. I think, yeah, why not? Let's do this every Wednesday at 10:30. Is that good for you guys, or do you want me to make it a little bit later? Maybe we start at 11 o'clock UK time, which would be, I'm hoping for a few of you, that would sort of be 5-6 o'clock your time. We can do it every week. Why not? We're here. We might as well. It's not like we can go out and ride, is it? Ryan, about 3 inches above the shoulder. Yeah, man. I mean, I'm like I said, each to their own. But you're going to be getting some numb hands. Numb hands. Stefan says, "Are you keeping your spoke rim anyone know where I can find some nice alloys? I am going to be keeping mine spoked. Reason being, alloy wheels are incredibly heavy, and I'd rather my bike went a little bit quicker, or reached the speed I want it to go a little bit quicker, rather than having the alloys. But if anyone does know of anywhere where you can get alloys for this bike that have got everything they need in terms of the bearings and everything, the mounting points, then leave a comment in the section below. Good for me. 6:30 p.m. here. Okay, so if I do 10:30 UK time, that will be 6:30 where you are, right? Or did I say 11:30? What did I say? Did I say 11 o'clock? We'll do 11. Tonight seems like it's been pretty good. Anyway, I'm waffling. So unless anyone's got any very, very, very last minute questions, I'm going to call it a night. Thank you all so much for joining me. It's been great fun. And I will do my best to get a video out to you as soon as possible. I will make sure that there is something going up for you on Sunday. In case you hadn't already spotted the pattern that I'm trying to create here, it's rebuild on a Sunday, and then a general chat or conversation or let's talk or unboxing on a Wednesday. That's what I'm going for here. So yeah, Sundays I'm trying my hardest to keep them to the rebuilds. So yeah. Right guys, you take care of yourselves. I will catch you hopefully on Sunday. If you are watching and are not a subscriber, please consider subscribing. It really does help the channel to grow and to reach more people. If you're on Instagram, head on over to Instagram to Intruder Viking. That's my handle over there, and you can give me a follow. Ask me any questions you want through DM via Instagram, and I will catch you all over the next coming days. You take care of yourselves, guys. I'll see you soon. All the best. Bye bye.